Hey everyone, welcome to another news breakdown here on SHODO-Pop. Alright, as always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos, and today we really only have stuff coming out of the Kamen Rider Candy Toy news blog, but it is quite a bit of stuff. They even said in the blog that, hey, stick around, we're gonna be a little bit long this week. So, let's just run through everything that came out this week. And first up, you already see him. It's Espada, and oh boy howdy, that that sticker around the face, or around the ring of the head, does not look fantastic, but it does have that nice gradient, so I'll give it that. Anyway, moving into more images of him, we do get to see a closer look at the head, but what they also want to tell us about is, you know, the head itself outside of the sticker. There are cooler things here. So basically, if you can't tell what the difference between the left and the right pictures are, the left picture has just the ring going around the head, and then the right picture, that one has plastic in place of the gap. So basically what they were saying is, hey, when you're making a toy line for aimed at 3+, 3 years and up, you're gonna have to run into some toy safety standard considerations. And so they tried it with the negative space filled in with plastic, and you know, you sacrifice accuracy. So they went back, and they didn't go through the specifics on how, and I really wish they did, but they said they went through and they reinforced the ring or something, but it's pretty much, you know, it's up to spec. It's up to SHODO spec. This is a 3 and up kids toy line still. So, that ring is still hollow, and that's really neat. That is some thin plastic right there, so mad props to them. Anyways, next up, the next thing they wanted to talk about is the mantle. So, we've had mantles before in SHODO, but nothing quite like this one. The first thing they wanted to talk about was, the sort of, I guess, gilded trim around the edges of the mantle, and then also those chains coming off of the body are really neat. And for the mantle itself, it actually pegs into the back. The mantle that we've seen before comes from Malunis, from the movie figures, and they wanted to improve on it. Basically what they said, or what G had said, was like, when they were designing this toy, they didn't know how the mantle was going to be mounted at all on the arm. So what they did was they just wanted to make, or at least G wanted to make, the best, most functional cape that he could, and with this image, it absolutely works out. Something I did not know I needed was that last image there on the right, with the mantle down while the arm's still out. That is so good, and part of me kind of really wishes that the rest of the mantles in my collection had done something like this. But the way it mounts, the way it does this, it's so neat, it's so cool, and I'm really excited to get this figure in hand. The next thing they wanted to talk about, and is becoming a bit of a feature in the latest SHODO figures, there's too much paint here. So basically, and yeah, I know, Jakun, that one looks pretty not painted, but this one sucks up a lot of budget. So basically, this thing's molded in gunmetal gray, so everything you see here had to be painted. And that is absolutely insane. All the white there, all the gold there, and you know what? Even all the... oh, wait. Sorry. This is just another comparison because Saber had molded red, but here we have to just do the whole thing. So, you know, that's the comparison. But, like I was saying, even the hands get some paint here, like a lot of paint. And it really makes sure, you know, you get the flow of the color. One of my complaints, or at least one of my knocks against Thouser, was that some of his hand options did not match up with the actual plastic. So I really appreciate that these are all sort of uniform. Anyway, next up, let's take a look at the full lineup. We once again do not have the wave layout image we typically get, so speculate in the comments down below what you think is going on here. I know a lot of people have been saying either like, well, I've been saying that I'm really thinking that Jack of the Beanstalk is gonna have to come with another arm or something. I feel like there's not enough plastic in that little bit to justify that being on its own, but I could be wrong. Other people are wondering if there's maybe another head to be revealed in the Jakun box, and maybe that's why, but it doesn't tell us why they've stopped up on that. Or it could just be a thing of like, sometimes they don't do that. I'm not sure why, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is everything we know about Book 2 so far. Let's move right along into SHODO-X. And we're getting our SHODO-X 10, not really reveal, but like in-hand images, because it just came out in Japan. And these look really cool. First up, we got Kabuto here, and they went back and basically remolded a lot of this. And while the molding is a lot different here, they also had a different approach to the paint as well. They made sure to make the metallic as they could. Also, he comes with a pointed finger because Kabuto does that. Like, how are you not going to put this in the set? And then also, his kick is a lot better now. This takes a little bit of balancing, they said, but his kick is a lot better now because he has the drop crotch stuff. And he decided they got some color samples of the worm in, so he wanted to show him off kicking one of the worm as well, and it looks so good, the worm. I know this is a Kabuto thing, but like, or I know this is Kabuto coverage, but the worm here looks pretty good. I'm very excited for him to come out in SHODO-04. Also, this looks pretty good with the Hopper Hell brothers. On top of that, in the accessory set, Kabuto is going to be coming with his kunai, his gun, and his axe. So that's really neat. You get all three of those options included in that set. So yeah, that's neat, but that's not the only thing that Kabuto is known for, because you've also got this, I forgot what Zector it was called, but it is the key to unlocking his final form. And this looks so good. There are a few issues with it that we'll get into after we talk about this guy, but man, does it look incredible. I'm so in love with this. The metallic is so striking on these. And he's got the hyper clock up form. So basically it is done with part swap. But as we're getting in-hand images, as we're getting people receiving these, it does seem like you are getting two Hyper Kabutos, so you might be able to just take the accessory set and put these on one of them and have a Hyper Kabuto and a Hyper Clock Up Kabuto. So that's really nice. But yeah, anyway, this looks fantastic. They were talking about how at this scale they were very worried about how the fit and finish was going to be on the part swapping portions, specifically like the wings and the chest. And like I said, this scale is really tough to do that at, but they were able to pull it off because obviously we have it here in hand with some other people. I can't wait to get mine in hand though. Next up, let's take a look at these wings, because these wings are also included in that accessory set, and it helps you pull off that kicking pose. Also, in the accessory set, he has the perfect Zector. He actually has it in both versions, so this is the perfect Zector without any of the other Zectors loaded in, and this is the perfect Zector with all the with all the other Zectors loaded in. Hopefully that means we're getting some other Kabuto riders on the horizon. I don't know, hopefully. So yeah, this looks really nice, and oh, wait, this looks pretty. But we also get the gun mode of this. So, I believe it's done by a hinge. If not, you know, you are able to make sure you've got all the, you got the sword and the gun loaded and unloaded for each. So that's technically 4 different things that this thing can do. So you've got all of that here. Anyway, next up, actually, I think, yeah, this looks really cool. Next up, let's talk about the feet, because someone had discovered on Twitter that, hey, those feet aren't right. So initially, or in the show, he's only supposed to have one, like, sort of souped up foot. The other foot is supposed to just be regular looking, and that caught the eye of a few people. It's easier to see here as well. So these feet are technically inaccurate, and I'm not sure why, or how, like, why this was a bit of an oversight for them, but it's just something interesting to note. The person on Twitter that alerted me to this was at Sei Vioru. He's a Japanese person on Twitter, so I'll have it linked in the description. But that's what sort of tipped me off to this. So the feet are technically wrong, but if you take another Kabuto's feet, then maybe you could replace. I don't know how I'm gonna fix this, but something's gonna have to be done here. I didn't know it was wrong until someone had pointed it out. So yeah, that's an absolutely good catch. Anyway, that's not all that's coming in SHODO-X 10. We also have Super 1, and he's looking super cool. His hands, they have a cut at the wrist and at the cuff. The original one that came out in Shodo Versus only had the cut at the glove. So they wanted to give you more options in terms of like which way the gloves pointed. So that's why they innovated that here. So you got the swappable hands right at the wrist this time. And yeah, this thing looks fantastic. The chest is actually changed from the initial release. Same with the head. They went through and remolded those as well. So yeah, anyway, this guy looks fantastic and has a whole bunch of poses here. Sorry, there are a lot of them, but he also has the fists and, you know, the different, I guess, form changes. I guess he was doing form changes before it was cool. The different hands to do some form changes in the accessory set. Also, what you can do is if you have SHODO-X 3 or any other Shodo figure with a yellow scarf, you can put it on Super 1 to recreate excuse me, the episode where he fought a robot version of Super 1. So that's really neat. I definitely kind of want to do that, so I'm keeping my extra Super 1. Anyway, he has the two little green ones as well that do the hot and the cold stuff. These are only the technical terms, by the way. He does the zappy zappy with this one, and then this one apparently is like a magnetic something, or a radar something. I don't know, but you got it. You have it if you buy this. Anyway, he also has the Blike. This is Blike? Did I say Blike? This is the bike. It's called the blue version. It is technically the blue version, but its name is blue version, and that really tripped me up. Apparently he has another bike, which is white, and it's bulkier, so it makes sense why I guess this one is more conducive to the Shodo scale. They didn't tell us why they didn't, include the other one. Something they did want to note about this one, though, was that they were hoping that with the way they engineered it this time, it's going to be a lot easier for you to assemble. So I'm really happy about that, because in-hand accounts from people getting Shodo-X for the first time and all that stuff, people not used to Shodo-X, they have a really tough time with the bike, so I'm glad that this was, fixed up. Anyway, these look great. And he's going to look great in a group shot with everyone from the Showa era, so I can't wait to do that. And over to the left, Rider-Man is coming soon. But hey, that's almost it, because we were left with an actual YouTube commercial that they put up for SHODO-X 10, and it is so good. Please check it out. The link is in the description down below, and you know what? If I remember, it's up at the eye icon above as well, so click that. It's a really great commercial. It looks so pretty. They said something ominous like, there were circumstances that led to the release of this video, but we're glad it's here now. And I'm like, what does that mean? Why don't you tell us? Why would you say that and not do it? Anyway, it could have just been some Google Translate jank, so I'm not even gonna, you know, think about it too hard. This was fantastic. They gave us a few more images of Shodo-04 and Shodo-X in there, but I didn't give you any of those images, so you're gonna have to go click on that video to see them. It's that cool. Go look at it. Anyway, then it jumps back to G. Yeah, G. It jumps back to G, who tells us and reminds us that, hey, this is coming. The pre-orders are coming to a close very soon for the Gouram and Tri-Chaser set. So if you have not gotten this already, if you have not gone through a middleman to procure this already, make sure to do so. Because those pre-orders are closing quite soon. I believe it's the 8th in Japan, so you have even less time. The links are in the description down below to, you know, the pre-orders and all that stuff, so make sure to get your eyes on these. Anyway, G also wants to note that a Television magazine came out for, you know, just standard Toku and Kamen Rider stuff, and it had Eden in it. So, I know we were very confused about this at first, like, oh, why is he coming with a 1000 Jacker? Apparently, that is his weapon. It's not just a re-release to be used with Thouser. It is his weapon. So, take that for what you will. Hope it didn't spoil anything for you, but, like, what weapon he uses is pretty inconsequent. I don't know. I have no idea. I hope this didn't spoil. Anyway, that's not all, though, because next week we are talking SHODO Kamen Rider Chronicle Gaim, and I'm so excited. I really hope they're just gonna give us like a full-on, like, what's different here, how it feels. I can't wait for such a huge blog post for all of this here. Anyway, I believe that's about it. Oh, it looped back to the beginning. I'm trying a different thing here. It's not gonna affect you at all. But hey, guys, that's it for the news. I'm so excited for Gaim next week, but tell me in the comments down below what you're most excited about with everything that was released today. And do you think we might be getting something more, like an extra reveal with Gaim next week? I don't know. Who knows? I'm very excited. So leave any of your thoughts, any of that in the comment section down below. And you know what? I also did a video on Shoto Go-Go 5 if you're interested in that as well. I worked really hard on that review, and I really hope you can check that out because it's honestly a video that I'm very proud of. So please, if you can, check that out. And then also, there are links in the description down below to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do, as long as you do it. It absolutely helps. You can also click a playlist at the end of this video. You know what? I'll switch to it now. Click this playlist here to take you to a few videos, a playlist of videos that donate their ad revenue to the Black Lives Matter movement. It's free. You can just watch them, and they accrue ad revenue for Black Lives Matter. It works out. It's perfect. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.